So for part 2 of the Hasbro Pulse Transformers fan stream, we're going to be covering the teasers and the cool little images we got from the Legacy Wave 4 pipeline reveals that BMAC and Evan gave us, the Through the Space Bridge, as they like to call this segment. We're going to cover the other stuff tomorrow. There's just too much to cover today, and there's also new information and new images that have been popping up over the past couple hours. And I think I want to wait till tomorrow when everything is settled and marinated, and then we'll cover it. There's a lot to cover with the collaborations and everything. So stay tuned for that tomorrow. But today, let's talk about Wave 4, Legacy United, and everything that was shown to us. BMAC and Evan giving us the next Through the Space Bridge, which will probably be the new items that we'll see with the next Hasbro Pulse fan stream next month. But these are stuff that we talked about a while back in August of 2023. We talked about these items when they were just listings and everything, and they had a release date of October 2024. So chances are next month, when these are revealed, they'll probably put up pre-orders, and an October release date will be attached to it. So what do we got this time around? Well, different from the past Space Bridge reveals, we actually have box art for all of these shown accompanying with it. Normally there were just pieces of art that BMAC would find on Google or whatever. These are the actual box art for all of these, so it also gives us an indication of what the coloring of these figures will be. So let's jump into it. The first thing we're going to be covering, of course, is the Core Class Energon Galvatron. Now, this we knew was coming. I mean, when we got that Core Class Energon Megatron, it's only a matter of time before we get the Galvatron repaint. Is there going to be anything different this time around? Probably not. I mean, they could maybe put a new tooling at slightly different head, or something, but at that small price point, you kind of want to maybe just keep it simple at the end of the day, and that'll be that. The next core class is one that we don't have the name currently right now. It's just a piece of art that clearly looks like Boulder Crash from our Infernac universe of rock-based characters, a Rock 3. Now, I have a feeling it's primarily because while we only have BMAC and Evan here today, Mark is usually the guy within the Hasbro team that has the lore behind it, what's the rock related to it, and the names of the characters and stuff, and the messaging behind it. And so since he's not here for this stream, that's why they're kind of probably saving this for maybe the next stream when he's going to be present and they'll reveal the character. But we do have the art, and the art does show that it is a Boulder Crash motorcycle rock-based mold. And again, because these are core classes and they only show the alt modes with the core class art, we'll see what we get. Maybe it'll have a new head sculpt on the robot mode. Maybe it'll have a new accessory. We will see. But we do know that it is a repaint, at least at the time being, of the Boulder Crash mold from core class. Then we have our deluxes. So here's where things get really interesting. The first thing we got is a Deluxe Class Quake, specifically the double Targetmaster Quake. If you look very carefully at the art here, it really is pretty clear that this is going to be a partial and retool of the Legacy Skullgrin. You can really see it in the chest and everything. So how much of this is going to be a retool is, obviously a new head sculpt. Maybe we'll get some new double Target Masters to go with them. So we'll see what happens with that. But we do have a new Quake coming in some shape or form, and it will come from that Skullgrin mold. It won't be a new tooling. We have a Deluxe Class Slipstream here. This is clearly a partial of the Windblade that we already got with Legacy. Judging by the packaging art here, if this is a strong indicator of the toy itself, it looks like it's a new head, new wings, and maybe a slightly new upper chest. It's hard to tell because art could also be flexible. But everything else is from the Windblade mold otherwise that we got with Legacy. It has two new blasters instead of the sword. It's not the first time that these two characters have shared a mold together, so it's no surprise that this is happening again. I really hope it turns out really well. I'm not a big fan of how it looks in the art here, but maybe the product, when we see it, will pop and it'll look much better. We got a Deluxe Class Generation 1 styled Optimus Prime. This is clearly Missing Link, but for we have Missing Link at home at least. I don't know. So it's going to be an articulated G1 Optimus Prime. Is it going to be done slavishly like the Generation 1 toy, or is it going to be something that's more of a dare I say, what we got already with Optimus Prime toys that have the shape and aesthetic of the Generation 1 animation model, but it'll just have something that looks like the G1 toy head. And, at least you could tell by the art here, the gun and the Energon axe. We will see. But a Deluxe Class toy, again, celebrating that 40th anniversary. So it's clearly, I could see why this exists in that deluxe price point. Then we have a Voyager Class update color. So originally it was listed as a package refresh for Metalhawk, but Evan assures us that this is actually going to be a brand new color scheme. It's still pretty much being the Metalhawk character, but now they're going to go with toy accuracy. So toy accuracy would probably imply that it's going to have gold instead of the yellow that was used on the figure. Maybe a different deco for the front of the chest, because the original toy had a little bit of a different deco on the chest as opposed to the animation model, which is what the original Metalhawk toy was going for. And then, of course, maybe the gray will be used instead of the white on the original Metalhawk Legacy toy. So we'll see what happens with that. But that's really cool. More Metalhawk celebrating the 40th anniversary. Master Force is in my top 3 favorite Transformer series. Give me more Metalhawk. I don't care. I love it. Then we got a Voyager Class animated Motormaster. No surprise with this one. It's going to come from our Legacy Voyager Class animated Optimus Prime. Brand new head sculpt from what we could see with the image here. Has the axe also. We'll see. Maybe they'll give us a little something extra. We'll see what happens with that one. Not much really I could say. Just very excited that the extremely expensive animated BotCon exclusive is now something that'll be available in the hands of people that could get at MSRP retail of a Voyager price point. Then we got 2 leader classes here. First one is Leader Class Generation 1 Soundwave. And they say here that it's going to be pretty much using that Netflix mold. So the Voyager Class Netflix mold that goes for crazy money. You're going to get an opportunity to get it. And it's going to come with 3 cassettes. Now, they didn't specify anything else outside of that. The rumor was forever that it was going to be the Netflix one done in the comic book purple colors. But judging by the Marcelo box art that's shown here, I don't think that's the case, unless the lighting is really weird. It looks like your traditional Generation 1 Soundwave in blue. As for everything else, I mean, I imagine it's probably going to be like the Nemesis Bridge Soundwave that we got with that really nice color scheme update that's different from the Netflix one. And the 3 cassettes included, I mean, they're going to go with the best hits. They're going to go with a Laserbeak, a Rumble, and a Ravage. Those are the classic 3 that I would imagine they'd go with. I mean, yeah, sure, it's ragging on the Frenzies and the Buzzsaw lovers and maybe even a Ratbat, and then you could go on to Overkill and Slugfest, but I think it's 40th anniversary. They're going to go with what the casual fan would even remember, and that's those 3 specifically. That's what I would imagine. And hey, leader class price point, you get the 3 cassettes, you get Soundwave and probably its best color scheme of that mold. Great opportunity for people to pick this up that wasn't able to pick it up because the Netflix one was getting scalped like crazy and it was a Walmart exclusive, and now it's going to be a mainline item. So great stuff. And the last one is the leader class Armada Galvatron. I want to just, again, this is fascinating how we got 2 Galvatrons in the same wave that are the same Galvatron in terms of character. I don't think that's ever been done before in Transformers history, where in the exact same wave, we got 2 of the same trademark and it's the same character, because Armada Galvatron ended up becoming Energon Galvatron. So that's kind of the first thing I wanted to mention here. But it's the leader class one. We know where this is coming from. We already got the tease of it, the little peek that we got on the back of the Tidal Wave Titan class box as the cross sell. It's going to be a repaint of our Armada Megatron that we already got in leader class. So now it's going to have the Galvatron color scheme. Does it come with something extra? Does he come maybe with a mini-con? Does he have a retool, a new face sculpt? We don't know. We just have the art here today. It's looking pretty awesome, though, the art. But that's pretty cool. And that's it for the Wave 4 pipeline. Again, this is scheduled for October of 2024 to be released. But in terms of reveals, this is going to be something we will see next month. So stay tuned for that. We're going to cover all the other news tomorrow. So be sure to tune in tomorrow for the Transformer Slag podcast. There is a lot to cover here. But thank you for listening to the 2 segments we've put out today. And we'll talk to you in the near future.
Transformers.